This is Kathy from Gadgets Top 321, and in today's video I'm going to be comparing Sailor Ink Studio 123 and 224. I'll swatch each ink with my tweezers, do writing samples with my glass dip pen, and do a chromatography of sorts on a paper napkin. I'm going to begin with the swatch of 123. I just get a drip of the ink between the pinched tines of the tweezers. I've had a little trouble with this one grabbing the paper. We'll see how it does this time. Yeah, did okay. And I'm going to get one more drop for the paper towel. Okay, and that was 123. I'm going to get a little bit on the dip pen. I'm going to do a little scribble at first to get the first big blob of ink off, and then I can begin writing. Let me dip it one more time. Okay, and over here by the first little ink blob, I'll go ahead and wipe off the excess ink and clean off any remaining ink in the water and wipe it off one more time. Next, I'm going to do the same, repeat the same process with 224. Okay, they're both similar so far, but I want to give them both enough time to dry. Now my writing sample with the dip pen. One more little dip like I did with the first one. And just like with the first one, I'll wipe the remaining ink off on the paper napkin. Okay, and they look very similar. I mean, the difference is so subtle. This one leans a little more blue. This one, I can definitely tell in the swatch that I did with the tweezers, looks a little more purple. This looks slightly more blue, but there's still a lot of purple in it. And I tried this several times, this same procedure here, and each time I thought it might just be because I was getting more ink on the nib when I did the dip pen test with 224, but it does seem to come off the nib in Oh, I just smeared that. In a bigger blob, see that's still wet. That one's dry. More ink comes off there at the beginning, so if you were going to be writing, you would need to get some of that initial ink off the nib, or it would be just a big blob when you started writing. The writing sample here, when I re-dipped it and did the swirl, the difference is almost indistinguishable. 224 seems like a nice alternative to 123. If you were, this one seems to be a hot ink that sells out, and so 224 might be a nice alternative. Now, I think this has had time to dry. The little paper towel chromatography, pretty much indistinguishable. I know that there's a difference between the two, so I don't know if it's just that I know there should be a difference. They're basically indistinguishable. All right, and that's one of the things I've noticed with these Ink Studio inks. There's so many inks, and some of them are so similar. Sometimes I have trouble when there's so many options to choose from, choosing one, and I can see that with these inks. All right, if you found this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel.